Great to be back in San Francisco at the Silver and Gold Summit to give you an update on Golden Arrow again this year. I will be making some forward-looking statements. The thesis for investing in Golden Arrow can really be summarized in three main points, and they're listed here on the slide that you see. We've got a strong track record of making significant mineral discoveries and identifying projects upon which we eventually make significant mineral discoveries. Subsequent to the sale of our 25% interest in Puna operations, that closed in September of this year, netting the company approximately $29 million Canadian. We're in a very strong financial position to execute our plan going forward. And thirdly, we've got a very strong pipeline of exploration properties that we've amassed, and I'll be expanding on all of these 3 points as we move through the presentation today. For those of you that are not familiar with Golden Arrow, it's a member of the Grosso group of companies that have been real pioneers of mineral exploration in Argentina for more than 25 years, since the early 90s. They've been credited with discovery of 4 major deposits since that time. First off, Guacamayo, a plus 2 million ounce gold deposit, was discovered in the 1990s, put into production by Yamana Gold in 2009, and recently sold to Mineros S.A. Navidad, one of the world's largest undeveloped silver deposits, now owned by Pan American Silver Corp. Chinchillas, discovered by Golden Arrow in 2012 and was put into production with partner SSR Mining in 2018. And lastly, group company Blue Sky Uranium Corp has been advancing its district-scale uranium-vanadium project in the northern Patagonian province of Rio Negro for a number of years, and made a significant discovery in a deposit called Havana on the southeastern end of that trend, and released a very positive PEA earlier in 2019. Golden Arrow and the Grosso group of companies are very well known and highly regarded for their strong emphasis and success with community stakeholder relations and all the projects that they work on, and as well having good relationships with all governments in the countries that they work on. We're very fortunate to have a strong team led by Joe Grosso, the executive chairman and CEO and founder of the Grosso Group and these companies. He's sitting here in the front row, and he'll be happy to answer any questions you may have after the presentation or later on outside at our booth. Just summary of some of the people involved. Brian McEwen is our VP Exploration. He oversees all of the technical work on our projects, and our excellent technical team, who's largely based down in Latin America. On the board side, I've been a director of the company since it was formed in 2004. I'm a geologist by background. John Gammon, a well-known Toronto-based mining geologist, is on the board, as well as Alf Hills, who is a very highly regarded mining engineer, who's brought a lot of technical depth to our group since he joined several years ago. It's a photograph of the Chinchillas mine that went into production in late 2018, and this is probably from earlier 2019. We discovered Chinchillas in 2012, rapidly moved to resource definition and initial PEA by 2013, entered into a business combination agreement with what was Silver Standard at the time in 2015, and progressed to a positive pre-feasibility study and joint venture deal in 2017, and entered commercial production in 2018. A very rapid transition from discovery to commercial production. Considering a number of factors, management and the board of the company determined earlier this year that it was in the company and shareholders' best interest to monetize that asset, and we did that. We netted a total value of approximately $45 million, including $3 million in cash and 1,245,000 shares of SSR Mining. SSR, as I'm sure you probably all know, is a leading producer of gold and silver. It's got a very strong treasury and a strong growth profile. It's highly liquid stock and very leveraged to the price of gold and to a lesser amount silver. So that puts the company on a very strong financial footing going forward. As I mentioned, Golden Arrow and the Grosso Group have been really engaged in exploring Argentina for more than a quarter century, and over that time period they've amassed a very significant portfolio of properties, 100% owned properties totaling more than 185,000 hectares, and located in adjacent to and in the same area as a number of the producing mines in Argentina and advanced development projects. You can see the distribution of the properties that Golden Arrow has on the map on the right-hand side of the slide. Here they include gold, silver, copper, porphyry and epithermal styles of mineralization. And the current property that we're focused on with our own exploration activities is the Flecha de Oro property, which is located in Rio Negro. It's the sort of one in the lower part of the maps in the middle of the country. And we also seek to leverage our large portfolio by entering into agreements with other exploration and mining companies. We've done that in the past, and we're certainly keen on continuing to do that in the future. Flecha de Oro is a property we've got an option agreement on to earn 100% interest. It consists of 2 separate land packages that total 12,000 hectares and has demonstrated potential for epithermal gold deposit discovery. We've got a number of high-grade surface samples in the preliminary work that we've done so far. And we've identified numerous trends with several different orientations of quartz veins and stockworks at surface, with samples that range up to 13 grams gold over 5 meters from detailed chip samples across some of these veins. We've got a program underway right now on the project consisting of surface work, mapping, sampling, and ground geophysics. And we hope to progress very quickly into trenching and drilling program in the new year. You can see again the details of the terms in the lower part of the slide here. The reason we're exploring in this area is that Patagonia has 2 massif areas that are very well known for hosting very significant epithermal gold deposits. Examples would be Cerro Vanguardia and Cerro Negro, both significant deposits with multi-million ounce endowments that are being developed and in production in Argentina. This is an example from one of the 2 properties that make up Flecha de Oro, and it shows the utility of these ground magnetic surveys in areas where there's not a lot of outcrop. This is a photograph from that property, and you can see some of the veins stick out, but there's not a lot of outcrop overall. And so this has been able to, you can see in the light or the dark blue area, which is a magnetic low, where one of the veins and adjacent stockwork zones that we've been sampling is located. It allows us to project where that trends and is really useful for planning trenching and drilling programs. So it's something that we're we're getting a lot of use out of, and we're going to be using that to plan our trenching and drilling programs. Another thing that Golden Arrow has recently announced is we've moved into Paraguay with a new acquisition that we're very excited about. It's a very underexplored area in Latin America, but we think it's got really strong geological potential. Paraguay has 2 areas of Precambrian shield that are very similar in age to what you see further north in the Brazil Craton and across the Atlantic Ocean in the Birimian greenstone belts of West Africa. Lots of multi-million ounce orogenic gold deposits hosted in those areas, and we've certainly got indications from the early stage work that's been done that we have strong potential in our areas. The infrastructure is excellent, very flat topography, great access into all the areas, and we've partnered with some people with local expertise to assist us in getting going. The property that we've acquired is down in the southern part of Paraguay, in the southern of the 2 Precambrian shield areas, and you can see this is a photograph from one of the showing areas. These are mineralized blocks of quartz with gold, and in some cases visible gold, and very flat topography. This is a map showing the concession area. It's massive, more than 64,000 hectares in 2 land packages with multiple gold targets. There's been very little work done on the northern block, but on the southern block there's been a number of areas identified, including a few historic drill holes that tested an area called San Miguel with grades up to 4 grams per ton gold, and our rock chip sampling on the northern Alvaro target has returned up to 16 grams from a 2.5 kilometer trend of mineralized quartz boulders. Historical work in this area has returned results of up to 150 grams per ton gold and lots of occurrences of visible gold. So we're working a surface program on that property right now, and we'll be advancing that as well in the new year. And finally, Chile. We entered Chile last year with a couple of option deals. It's obviously a very well-known mining jurisdiction, a lot of advanced stage projects. We're continuing to evaluate a number of opportunities as we speak. The property that we're most focused on at the moment is Indiana. It's more than 2,000 hectares, has this historic gold-copper resource of more than 600,000 ounces of gold equivalent in near-surface high-grade veins and mineralized chutes. The property is actually permitted for production, has 2 ramps that access the underground mineralized zones to facilitate ongoing exploration and development, and we believe it's got strong exploration potential. We're in the process of continuing to evaluate all the historical work and the work that we've done ourselves to determine the best way to move that project forward, and you can see the terms on the lower right-hand side of the slide. So I'm running out of time. I'm just going to wrap up. We've got just under 120 million shares outstanding as it stands right now. We've got probably north of 1.8 times our market cap in cash and marketable securities. So I hope I've been able to leave you with the understanding that Golden Arrow is a company that has a long track record of success in making mineral discoveries. We were well financed to execute our business plan going forward, and we've got significant upside both in our shareholdings of SSR as they continue to execute their business plans, and from continuing to build on our advanced stage projects and making discoveries on our high caliber exploration portfolio. Thank you very much.